Climate news. The first article we got is the Arctic Ocean acidification is worse than expected. Like what I covered last week, the carbon dioxide gets absorbed by the oceans, causing ocean acidification, and it's causing a lot of marine life, crustaceans and stuff, to like have their shells dissolve in the water, which is pretty, like it's straight out. It sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi horror story, right, guys?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go ahead.
It's just another example of like mankind messing with nature to the point where like it gets so bad, just like acid just dissolves shells.
Yeah, the oceans are becoming actually becoming
Like,
full of acid.
Yeah, actual acid baths.
Yeah, so yeah, this article actually, that's what it's talking about. Apparently, it can get way, way worse than what they initially thought, because the animals on the lower end of the food chain, such as mussels and sea butterflies, if their shell dissolves when they're very young, they can't even grow up. So if the animals on the low end of the food chain die, then the things on the upper echelons of the food chain cannot survive either. So it can destroy the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's also
It is horrible.
Is there
It is horrible.
It really fucks up the life cycle.
Yeah.
Is there a chance for it to become like way more acidic and like more volatile, to where like it can like dissolve like bigger things?
Maybe. I mean, it depends, because like it's not equally distributed. Some places are gonna be more acidic than the others.
Yeah.
So we don't know how bad it can get. Like already it's full of plastic. I've heard that like 90% of current like fishable, the edible fishes are dead. 90% of them in the oceans. And like apparently by 2050 we won't be able to fish anymore, because most of the fish will be dead. It'd just be plastic. Like you'd be fishing for plastic bottles and stuff.
Oh shit.
Alright, moving on to the next one. This is a continuation of the last one. BBC was discussing who is to blame for climate change and all of the environmental pollution and on all that stuff. And the article basically comes to the same conclusion as what we've already known. ExxonMobil and some of the most richest oil producers and all these other chemical corporations, they're basically responsible for everything. I read that like even though they say that you gotta take personal responsibility, like for example with plastic straws, apparently plastic straws are only like 2% of the plastic in the oceans. So even if we all stop using plastic straws, the impact it has is very minimal. It's not like we shouldn't stop using plastic straws, but we need to like point the finger at the people who are actually responsible. Like, why are we even manufacturing these things if we know that they're dangerous, you know?
Yeah. It's gonna get much worse.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get way worse.
And yeah, I feel like there isn't. I mean, I don't feel like, I know there isn't like one specific source to blame for any of this. Basically a lot of other places have dipped their hands into ruining to further ruining the environment.
I mean, it's no one specific place to point the blame at, but like basically a group of organizations and mega corporations that I think can be blamed to a good extent. Like apparently they knew about climate change in the 70s, but they never revealed it. ExxonMobil, they knew about it in 70s or 80s, but they decided to stay quiet because it'd be bad for business.
Yeah.
Like the entire system is kind of fucked. It's like profit over people, and even if the whole planet dies, well, we're just rich enough to move off to Mars and open a portal to hell, and then the Doom guy can come and save us again.
Yeah. Once we colonize Mars.
Yeah, I mean, they actually think that they can escape, some of them.
Well,
Cough, cough, Elon. That ain't happening. If shit hits the fan, all of us are gonna die.
If we do colonize eventually, if it does happen, I'm positive it's going to be like some things that are like some precautions, like don't do that stuff to like further.
I mean, even if we colonize, it's gonna be a very few people. Like, I doubt 7 billion of us can live on Mars.
Yeah, you think
that
it would be a privilege to live on Mars?
Yeah, I mean, the next article we're gonna look at is even more scary. Apparently, climate crisis poses serious risks for pregnancy. Investigation finds. And the article says that as climate change worsens, as temperatures, air pollution, and all that jazz gets worse, it's going to affect people's pregnancy. And 84% of the studies showed a significant association between air pollution and heat and poor pregnancy outcomes. So air pollution and heat can increase preterm births, low-weight births, and also stillbirths. And the association is like over 75% link.
So if this just like keeps up, we're just gonna like eventually die off.
Yeah, basically, it's gonna be another mass extinction, but instead of the dinos, it's gonna be the humans.
We dug our own grave.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even reproduce at that point, so
the corporations dug our own grave. My bad.
I mean, we can already see like we have more cases of asthma nowadays. We have more allergies and some stuff, and there might be a link. There's a correlation to that and like pollution, you know.
Yeah.
What can we even do to like make a big change for this?
I mean, we have to like basically change our entire energy system, reduce consumption, and go to like more greener sources of energy. Even nuclear should be an option, I think.
Nuclear energy. I believe this is like definitely going to cause more cases of like children born with like certain, what should we say,
deformities and stuff.
Yeah, deformities.
Yeah, definitely. It already happens like in case of like these giant chemical disasters like the Minamata incident in Japan back in the day and all of those stuff.
Fukushima.
Like yeah, you can see like babies born with deformities because the water and the air is contaminated. There was this movie that came out last year from it was starring Mark Ruffalo, Mr. Hulk, in it. It was called The Dark Waters, and it basically explores how DuPont poisoned 98% of humans on the planet with their Teflon byproducts.
Yeah.
Or was it the chemicals they used to make Teflon? And it has been linked to cause deformities and stuff, which is very scary. We're literally just digging a deeper and deeper grave to fit all of humanity in.
Yeah.
And Siberia is not doing great either. Record temperatures in Siberia. Just this week, we saw like temperatures hit like 30 degrees Celsius. Not this week, but on 9th of June. And then on the 22nd of May, they were up as high as 25 degrees Celsius. And yeah, it's very, very hot. Let's see now. May temperatures seen in northwest Siberia would be likely to happen just once in 100,000 years without human-caused global heating, but happened twice in the same month. I mean, not same month, but May and then June it happened again. It's only supposed to be happening once in 100,000 years, but yeah. And then I don't understand like these people who deny climate change. They see all of this stuff, right? We're dumping billions and billions of tons of carbon dioxide and all kinds of toxic gases into the atmosphere, and they're like, it's just natural, guys. It's the volcanoes that are doing it. It's not people.
They're dumb. That's it.
Yeah.
They're just dumb.
I mean, it was just last week that we had the giant oil leak in Russia because permafrost was melting and the tank basically broke
Middle of the Arctic.
and leaked a shit ton of diesel into the Arctic.
Yeah. Middle of the Arctic oil spill.